What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another Game of Thrones, the card game, North American Championship Joust video from Gen Con 2017. Brought to us by all these awesome Patreons over on patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. In this video we got Chad running a Lannister Rains of Castamere on the left. On the right we got Tom running Targaryen Fealty. On the Targaryen side, looks like we have Sir Jorah Mormont, an Unsullied, Plaza of Pride already on the table, and a great haul to start. On the other side, we got characters, Dupe Tyrion, Burnmen, and a Lannisport merchant for some character economy.
So many rains, huh?
We are in the top 16, day 2 at Gen Con. We have 3 videos coming up from the top 16, 3 videos coming up from the top 8, both top 4s and the finals coming up here on Rob's Gaming Table. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little notification button beside the subscribe button to be notified when the videos go up and when we go live on the channel if you want to come and watch. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button, whatever it's called, to support these Game of Thrones videos, to help other people find them.
I'll choose you.
And looks like we have Time of Plenty flipped on the Targaryen side, making both players draw 3 cards in the draw phase. And we got summons happening here on the Lannister side, looking at the top 10 cards for a character.
Game of Thrones, the card
And the Fantasy Flight game status right beside the speakers at the, I guess, the head table where they organize the tournaments. And Tom knows, if he's watching right now, he was giving me eyes of frustration. Trust me, I was frustrated too with that big speaker yelling in all the cameras there all morning while they were getting other people organized. We were here at 8 o'clock in the morning to play this top 16 for Game of Thrones on the Sunday of Gen Con. And yeah, they were shouting to players of every game, and it was disrupting the players' focus. It was a little frustrating. Just watching it, I felt bad. But yeah, Tom was giving me eyes. He knew what was going on. But yes, thanks to all the top 16 players who were filmed on camera, willing to be filmed for you guys to watch here. And hopefully they can watch themselves and learn from the good and learn from the bad here. And the player that wins this match will move on to the top 8. The prize gets for the top player, top 8 I believe, maybe top 16, they all got mats. There was kind of deck boxes handed out for like top 32. They get some medals. The winner gets to design a card for the game, winning the North American Championships. Free seat at Worlds, I believe, coming up in November. I'm not sure what else. There was obviously alt-art cards and that kind of thing handed out at the tournament. So we got a Rose Road plate on the Lannister side of things. Obviously, the Lannister player going first, collecting his 4 gold there for his plot. I missed who he grabbed on these summons, because I was rambling on there. We got Grandmaster Pycelle and the Red Cloaks, using the Lannisport Merchant and the 4 gold. Going nice and wide here to start, with basically a bunch of weenies on the Lannister side. And across the board, he's got 6 gold to work with from his plot, Fealty, and a great haul to help reduce a unique character by 1, or by 2 if it's 6 cost or higher. Second great haul going here. I find the game's usually in easy mode if you're playing a big dude's deck, and you see 2 great hauls to start here by round 1. And speaking of big dudes, one of the big dudes, Miri Maz Murder, has hit the board, looking to kill somebody. And the most important character to kill across the board is Tyrion right now, but he has a duplicate. But hey, if you can get rid of that duplicate and set up a Juicy Valor, why not? And a dragon is on the board. We got Viserion there. Fealty has been knelt, so the threat of Dracarys is possible. Miri could get a stand here by pitching a card off Plaza of Pride. Tyrion's in that 4 strength range, so that dragon and a Dracarys can burn him right to the ground, dupe or no dupe. And Chad does not have any gold for a Widow's Wail to help protect him. But he's going to do an intrigue anyway with Tyrion. Trigger Tyrion's money, which would give him first action. So if he does have a Widow's Wail, but he does have a Hand Judgment, since he got the gold off of Tyrion, he had enough to pay for it. So One Dracarys gone in the discard pile. Canceled. So Tyrion lives another day here. For now. So we got Miri coming in on the defense, actually. Figures he can stand her anyway, maybe, and just use her kill once. Doesn't really care beyond that. Oh, he had all 3 Great Halls. Wow, one in the discard pile, though. Wow, all 3 Great Halls to start. Could have had one in play there next round, and that would be gross. Danny for $1, Drogo for free. Ugh.
So, 2 playing military. I had to save with him, but I can't save with him and then claim him.
So obviously no range trigger. That's why I used Miri to stop it. Probably figured a Fealty might come through and kneel Miri anyway. I might have let it go through, actually, just to have him use up one of his range triggers early. Maybe he wasn't going to trigger it anyway, but... But I'd rather have him use a Fealty in round 1 than a Fealty Accusations later in the game when it's more impactful, maybe. So military here with the Red Cloaks and the Burnmen, 4 strength. He'll have to block with both of the characters to fully defend it. If not, he may just kill the Unsullied, maybe kill Ser Jorah. Depends what kind of challenges he wants to do back at his opponent here. You may laugh when I say killing the Unsullied, but you might want to keep Ser Jorah around since he's so cheap to stand up and he has that Intrigue icon. And that Intrigue icon in 4 strength definitely helps against the Rains decks, that's for sure. Might see Plaza chucking a 4-cost or higher card here to stand Miri. But this is tough here, tough choice. Does he want to fully block the military? What kind of challenges does he want to do back to his opponent? Military's not really going to hurt the Lannister player here. He has lots of claim-soak kind of characters that he does not care about. And it's going to go unopposed and a dragon will die, which you know what those Targaryen players like to do. Play that Fire and Blood, bring those dragons back into play, do some sneaky stuff. So he likes to have that dragon seated in the dead pile there, ready to go for future use. And we did see when Tom was shuffling through his hand there, I believe he does have a second Dracarys in hand already. So we got a military challenge here with Jorah. Trail token. Unopposed power gained on that one, killing the Landsport Merchant. Now a power challenge with the Unsullied. Also going unopposed. Stealing a power there and getting unopposed.
Do you mind if I just put my fealty card down here and I use it and leave this tapped? Sure. So I'll just do that. And it's tapped. Yep.
So just for clarification, Tom has asked his opponent there. He's going to leave his house card knelt there. Just putting power on it. He's going to use Fealty down in the bottom row there to signal when he's used Fealty or not. So right now it is knelt and used. So you're going to see him standing and kneeling that Fealty card instead of his house card. Since it's a giant cinder block there basically of granite.
Alright. Yep.
And during dominance,
So Dominance going to Lannister. He triggers Red Cloaks in Dominance to take that gold, put it on the Red Cloaks, give him an extra strength during Intrigue challenges only. And of course with the Rains deck, you want Intrigue challenges, having as much strength in them as possible with as little effort from characters so that you can get your range trigger, obviously, by winning by 5. And are we going to see the standard that I usually see in games that I play and that I commentate here on the channel ever since Crown of Gold came out? Are we going to see that be the death of Tyrion here? That seems to be the standard play. Somehow they always get that Crown of Gold and it always kills Tyrion. I don't know. So Late Summer Feast giving 9 gold and that forced reaction to allow the opponent to draw cards when the Lannister player wins a challenge. And on the other side, I believe it was accounting coppers, alt art. I could be wrong.
The Game of Thrones, the card game this morning, and has not yet signed up. You can come up to the front with generic.
And there's that speaker from FFG again, letting everyone know the draft registration is starting. So if you're interested in playing Game of Thrones draft, and you can travel in time, go back to day 4 at Gen Con there at around 8 a.m. and you can join in the draft.
Up here at Gray Flight Control. For those of you waiting for Arkham Horror, the card
Next year, I'm going to show up early on the
card game.
top 16 of Thrones to see if we can move it to as far away from the speakers as possible, since basically the entire FFG game area that can host thousands of players was completely empty at that time in the morning.
We'll be taking registration for that at 9 a.m. as well, so please hang out, and we'll call you up shortly.
So Tywin Lannister has hit the board with a duplicate and a milk on Miri to handle that business. For now, to see either confiscation, a Rattleshirts Raiders, Viserys Targaryen, and he's going to put an upside down Tears of Lease token there to blank out Miri's text, literally. Oh, bodyguard on Tywin, just for some extra protection. You may laugh, but putting that attachment on Tywin definitely helps against Dragon is no Slave event that Targaryen will play. And I believe protects against Plaza Punishment. And that could be the difference between Tywin dead and Tywin alive.
You have one in the dead pile?
From burn, that is.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 in the dead pile. As you hear Tom, the Targaryen player, asking there, obviously, for Slaver's Bay Port. Try to find when he hits that sweet spot of 4 characters in the dead pile so we can get 2 gold off of that location. So you see only 2 gold collected there, so it must have been accounting coppers. I believe we saw him draw a bunch of cards. He's got the 2 Great Halls. He's kneeling fealty there to get the 1 reduction on a loyal. Spends 1. And there's that Slaver's Bay Port. To only get 1 gold back, though. So like we said, no, only 2 characters in the dead pile. And we got the Great Halls to reduce Doria. And there's that attachment removal. Viserys Targaryen for 1. Saving 1 gold. 1 gold for what? Who knows? Maybe that Dracarys. But no Dragon or Dany to kneel. And I guess that 1 gold to be needed for that event, I believe, to get the Dragon in play anyway. So I think you might see Chad take full advantage here of the Dracarys not being a possibility. But he's got to watch out for that Miri. I mean, she's got that milk on her, but that can easily be removed right now if a claim happens and Viserys is killed. Or if he's sent back to hand, I guess, with an event. So it looks like 2 gold sitting on the Lannister side still. He's got 1 on that red cloaks, giving him that bump. 1 saved on the Targ side. Doria is able to give insight, or I think she gets insight herself when she's in a challenge she wins with a lord or a lady. Right now, I believe the only lord out there on the Targaryen side is Viserys Targaryen, or Viserys.
Okay, I'm going to come intrigue.
So we got a big intrigue here. Tywin Lannister getting the gold buff. Tyrion feeding it even more. So I believe Tywin's at 10. We got 4 from Tyrion. 14 strength coming in. Stealth on Miri.
14 right now?
So we got Nightmares on Tywin, reducing 4 strength from him. And a Hand's Judgment on the Nightmares. Was that necessary? I guess Ser Jorah and Doria could defend for 6. And with the Nightmares, it would have been 10 to 6. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wants to get that range trigger off. I don't think we'd see a wildfire. I don't think he wants to kill Viserys Targaryen. But I mean, that would make military hit harder. If he could even push a military through, it doesn't look like it at this point. Might see a stand on Tywin is what he's trying to get here.
Force reaction, I get a card.
So you get the force reaction off of Late Summer Feast there. See how many they missed this game. Just kidding. Tom's on it. He's got a card. Chad looking through his scheme plots here, deciding what havoc, if any, that he wants to drop on his opponent. And he's going to do it. And it is the stand token, Power Behind the Throne. And he forgot to kneel his house guard there to trigger Rains. But it was unopposed. So now he goes for claim on the intrigue, gets Viserion. Going to the discard. And a Renown on Tywin. Lannister's up 3 to... Or no, they're not, sorry. They're losing, actually. Targaryen has 5 power with the power also on Ser Jorah there. Only 3 on the Lannister side. So his only option right now with what's on the board is to do a military. Which he's going to do, same as last turn, try to force him to kneel out more than he wants. He'll have to kneel both to defend. He could just block the unopposed and kill somebody. He could just go unopposed and get rid of the attachment off Miri. And that would be trouble. But treachery might happen here because there's gold on Lannister's side. So we might see a treachery cancel Viserys' ability, and that would send him to the dead pile, and he wouldn't have to worry about that milk coming off anytime soon until a Valor happens. Jorah's going to block with 4 on 4. Ty should go to the attacker here.
No reaction.
And claim to remove the attachment. Remember, Tywin could stand with the stand token and block Miri if needed. And the milk goes to the discard. Miri's got her text back. But remember, Plaza of Pride is still out there. And yes, that could be treachery also. So we got the stand token, and over to the Targaryens for their challenges. So we got a military with the Unsullied. Remember, they have their ability to -1 strength across the board for defenders, but no one goes into the defense. Burn men for claim, unopposed power gained on the Targaryen side. And Doria coming in on the 2 strength intrigue. Tyrion should get some gold here. Which could possibly fuel a Hound bouncing in. I don't see that. I guess that would be necessary if there was still 2 challenges for Miri to do, but looks like Miri might be only coming in on 1 challenge here.
It's going to be unopposed.
Not sure why. Yeah, unopposed. 3 cards in the Lannister player's hand. There is the Hound in there, and he's in the discard pile now. And Miri's not even going to try to walk into Tywin. So he's going to do an action and challenges, put the gold on the Red Cloaks, win dominance on the Lannister side, and then feed the Red Cloaks 2 more times the dominance and standing before losing gold in taxation. So those Red Cloaks, I think, have 4 gold on them now, making them 6 strength in an intrigue challenge, which is pretty nuts. They don't usually stick around too long. They either get military claimed or die to Valor usually. And in this case, they'd be a march target.
I didn't do the force for the military. It is forced, right?
So they realize they forgot Late Summer Feast here on the military. Always gets missed.
I did this for the intrigue, and then you won the military. I claimed him, but I didn't do.
Flipped into this.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
No, but the force happens. Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, sorry. No, he removed the plot. I see what happened. Yeah, it was already covered by Power Behind the Throne.
That's why.
So Tom didn't miss it because it wasn't there. So he was doubting himself. He thought he missed it, but it wasn't showing. But since he moved the plot off, obviously for Abbott, I did it too. You look over, you see the used plot there. You think that was the last plot, but it's actually reserve in effect was off Power Behind the Throne at the end of the round. You just have to remove that scheme plot from the game, which is what happened there. Okay, so counting coppers into Varys Riddle. You see Tom cheering there, getting that hit on Varys Riddle, drawing those cards, calling it like a pro, which is what you expect at the top 16 tables here.
I still think I want you to be first. Yeah, you can be first.
So it sounds like Targaryen player Tom has made the Lannister player Chad go first here. And they're going to both draw 3 cards for their plot effects, and then draw 2 in the draw phase. So I don't know if Tom was trying to also hit possibly a Valor. You never know with duped and bodyguarded Tywin, duped Tyrion. Maybe he was thinking of Valor might have come out too was an option, but as we know from previous discussions, this Chad was my loss in this one of my 2 losses in the Swiss, and that's all of his plots. He is not running Valor, which was what the DC meta was doing here at Gen Con. I believe we're all running this Lannister Rains with no Valor, so if Tom is aware of that, I don't think he was thinking that, but maybe he didn't know.
The line starts here and makes its way that way towards the clan banners.
And guys, make sure you hit that subscribe if you're new here while we wait for them to marshal. Slap that like button, like I said before, in all these Game of Thrones videos.
The card game.
You can always share these videos on social media. That's always awesome. Much appreciated.
We are now accepting specific event ticket registration only. If you have specific event tickets.
And for those that can travel to Toronto, Ontario, stay tuned. Canadian Nationals coming up. Check the link in the description below, 401games.ca/FFG Nationals for more information. We'll be streaming from there. I'll be there. A lot of our meta will be there. Some people are traveling from far and wide to come play Canadian Nationals. We got Alexander Hines as our tournament organizer from Beyond the Wall podcast fame. So yeah, come by. And did I not call it? There is Crown of Gold killing Tyrion. Surprise, surprise.
Now we got 4.
always like clockwork. Every time Targ plays a Lannister deck, that's just what happens. I guess until a juicier 4-strength character is released for Target or for a Lannister that replaces Tyrion in decks. Crown of Gold basically says on it, put on Tyrion and kill him. That's in that matchup. I think that's what it says in the fine print on the card.
And the line forms towards the clan banner.
So we see Shay on the Lannister side there now in a Western Fiefdoms.
If you are here to play cooperative this morning for
And a red cloaks with 4 gold on it. Remember, Shay, you can stand her after paying a gold, I think twice per phase. I could be wrong. Maybe it's once. But it does have a limit on it, I believe.
And if you are here for Star Wars Destiny, the card game top 16, Lucas here will be checking you in this morning. Please meet him here in the center of the stage.
Over to the Targaryen player Tom for his marshalling here. He's looking at his future plots, figuring out what's in hand. He's got 4 gold to work with, 2 Great Halls, and a Illyrio's Estate. But he's thinking what plot's coming up next. He's got Valor coming, maybe the burn plot, who knows? Some kind of reset. Doesn't know how much he needs to put in here. But if he can set up a march on Tywin, that would be juicy. And Khal Drogo will help that if he gets 2 military challenges through, adding that extra claim. Might be able to drill through either some of the dupes / bodyguards on Tywin, some of the Chud on the side, maybe some burn men in hand. But Khal Drogo will help set up a beautiful march to the wall to get rid of Tywin if Tom can get that going. And we see Miri has another Milk of the Poppy on her, keeping her locked down here. And is there any more attachment removal in Tom's deck? We'll see. Or will Miri just end up dying to Valor or a put to the sword or something before that? But she is a 5-strength intrigue body on the board, which is great to help possibly prevent Reigns of Castamere triggers from the Lannister player Chad.
Casual tournament. The registration begins here at blue flight control, and the line moves towards the clan banners.
I hate the announcements.
I know.
They're so late.
Yes, Tom, we agree with you. These announcements from FFG are super annoying. Can't sit by the speakers next year. Can't do it. Anyone who makes the cut, anyone watching these videos next year, if you get there early enough before I do, or if I'm not there, if anyone's recording, make sure you move away from those speakers. Just in general, just for your own sanity.
Legend of the Five Rings or Lord of the Rings or Arkham Horror events with generic tickets, please stay seated until we call generic tickets up. We are only taking specific event tickets for these sold out
So I
events
think
at this
3
time.
gold saved there on the Targaryen side. We're over to Chad, the Lannister player here, for his challenges. Losing that Tyrion with stealth was a huge hit, I'm sure, for range trigger possibilities. Can't generate that extra gold to feed Tywin. Tywin's an 8 strength right now with the 2 gold that's there. You got the red cloaks that adds another 6, though. But you're now staring at Doria, Jorah, and Miri, who all can help prevent range triggers. You got Shay that can help get in the intrigue and stand. But he's gotta be careful not to leave himself open against multiple military challenges. You might want to save Tywin for defensive purposes against Jorah, Khal Drogo's ability, and the Unsullied reducing strength when they're attacking. And the Plaza of Pride that could stand any one of those characters that'll push that through anyway. Because you don't want to just, like, normally you'd be okay just, you know, taking away a dupe on Tywin, maybe even the bodyguard, but Valor has not been played on the Targaryen side, so that could be a problem. And with 3 gold saved, a Dragonismal Slave is a possibility on Tywin if that bodyguard can be used up. So actually he's just going to go small intrigue, not worry about Rains. We got Shay coming in for 2.
Fire and Blood?
And Fire and Blood bringing a dragon back in play, so now Jakaris is a possibility. And Jakaris will burn Shay. So Tom's going the method here of just claim as much as you can, take away as many claim options as possible. And the intrigue challenge just fizzles completely there. And it sounds like Chad's going to pass his challenges completely over to Tom.
Gets the strength and injury, right? So when you have 2 gold,
Yep.
10 standard strength.
So it sounds like Tom's thinking military. He's got 10 strength across the board, plus a possible 2 gold on a burn man. No possible hound jumping in here with only 2 gold.
Start off with the intrigue.
So he's going to do a power with Doria. Probably go unopposed. I don't see Tywin blocking that.
Alright, that has to be unopposed.
And that'll go unopposed. 2 power gained on the Targaryen side of things. Looks like he's at 9 power now to 3 on the Lannister side.
Military for 8.
And we got the first military challenge here, 8 strength. Remember the Unsullied do reduce strength on the defending characters by 1.
Give me my throne back. Thief.
And that'll go unopposed. Bodyguard gone.
Unopposed and renowned.
11 power now on the Targaryen side, with that renown also added from Khal Drogo.
So if I stand him, I can't necessarily win unless you block the intrigue. Cards in here?
F5.
Sure, let's pop off.
So we got an intrigue with Miria. She is 5 strength. He's trying to get one of those military icons Neil out here, so that he can possibly chuck a Plaza Pride card, stand Khal Drogo, throw him in on a military he can win,
At this time, just jump in line here at Blue Flag
and maybe get another renown.
Control.
Definitely another claim. Maybe another unopposed, who knows.
If you're here for Arkham Horror, the card game, or
Trying to put as much pressure on Chad here as possible. Try to whittle his board down.
Begins here at Gray Flight Control and moves towards the wall.
I got the intrigue left.
For both of these events, if you have a specific event ticket, you can jump in line now.
Looks like Chad may be debating here using the scheme plot trigger from Reigns of Castamere on the defense.
The same fucking announcement.
Time the entire fucking match. Oh my god. Wake you up. That's not the issue. I promise.
14 intrigue.
Killing me. Alright.
So 5 on the attack. You could throw on the defense. What's he got? I think 14 he could put. So he's going to oppose with Tywin, just get a renown. Block the intrigue. He's got some important cards in hand he wants to protect, looks like. And I know Tom's working towards that march to the wall, I'm sure. He's definitely not thinking Valor to wipe his whole board, I don't think. But he's going to chuck Jack and Hagar to stand Khal Drogo. No treachery on that. And Khal Drogo's going to come in on the 5 strength mill. Dupe off Tywin's gone. It's opposed, though. And he's left himself protected, kind of protected from the march to the wall. But that red cloak is not a bad march hit for sure. Having 2 extra gold on top of it, it's a +6 from its ability on intrigue challenges right now. And dominance going to the Targaryens. I think 13 power on the Targaryen side, 4 power on the Lannister side. Very one-sided match here, especially after Tyrion bit the dust there from Crown of Gold.
half a piece. Just unintentional.
Seeing those Plaza, or the, sorry, Great Halls early, Plaza of Pride early, was a huge boost for the Targaryen player, it seems.
Everything you write on the whole card.
I'll punch you.
Tywin does not equal win anymore, that's for sure.
I'll go first.
And there's that March to the Wall we were thinking, and of course, Calling the Banner's played. Of course, you play that when your opponent has 6 characters across the board from you, if you have that in your plot deck. Now's the time to do it. Try to fill up the board again here, but March gets rid of the Red Cloaks and Doria, leaving Tywin by himself to fight the good fight. But is that going to be enough here against the multiple military challenges and standing from Khal Drogo with possible extra renown? We'll see what they marshal here, though. But I think Chad's going to have to keep playing defensively to just stop the Targaryen player from winning. Maybe hope he runs into his own valor here, and then the Lannister player can maybe turn it around. I believe Chad's running Ghost of Harrenhal, so he might be able to bring something back into play later after Valor.
Legend of the Five Rings, the card game competitors.
We got Astapor put out there with 4 gold. Disgusting. And Grey Worm on top of that. Those Great Halls, man, doing work. Huge advantage here, having that economy available to him. So let's see what can be marshaled here.
Please report to that table and begin your first game.
12 gold, I think, to work with on the Lannister side, plus the Western fiefdoms.
In the second round,
so we could get some stuff on the board, but when you're going second against Grey Worm and the Unsullied, that's tough. And Astapor, icing on the cake. I don't know if he's going to get enough out there to deal with Claim and Power Gain. I think it's over here for Chad, the Lannister player. I think Tom's going to be moving on to the top 8 here.
For the winner of each match. If you're here for Arkham Horror, the card game, or Lord of the Rings, the card game.
Like I said before you guys leave, make sure you check out the Canadian Nationals FFG info in the link in the description below. If you're into Armada, X-Wing, Star Wars Destiny, Game of Thrones, you know, any of the other games. I guess not L5R yet because it won't be out, but September 22nd. In Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Canadian Nationals coming up, and if you can't make it, make sure you keep an eye on this channel. Like I said, hit that little notification button after you subscribe, right beside the subscribe button to be notified when we go live on September 22nd. Mark your calendars. We got Duped, 7 Cost Cersei in play, Chella in play. That's something. Not sure it's enough. No gold for Tywin to have a buff here, so it's only 12 power on the defense right now for the Lannister player.
Please go ahead and make your way to your tables once everyone
and with we got Miri for 5, Unsullied reducing on the power challenge with adding 3, throwing Viserion for 2, Khal Drogo, he's milked, but he's going in on the power anyway. Remember, we got Astapor that can reduce for 4, so power of 13 to start things here, which is more than 12. And then if either of them go in on defense, remember the Unsullied's going to subtract 1 from each one who goes in on defense. And Chad realized that's it. Tom closes it out there, and it's going to move on to the top 8. Congratulations, Tom. That was pretty one-sided, though. Great start there on the Targaryen side of things. But yeah, thanks a lot for being here watching, guys. Thanks to everyone scrolling by on the screen right now, donating on patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. You guys are all awesome. Thanks for helping me out here, supporting this channel, supporting these videos, helping it grow, helping improve the equipment, helping get me to more tournaments, helping possibly get me to Worlds this year. If you want to help, do so at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. Click the link in the description below. Any amount helps, but even if you can't help, that's all good. Just keep watching these videos, and I appreciate the support, guys. Hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next video. More Thrones to come.